it's Nikki. So let's do a Q&A. I am wearing Butterick 5529, a silk chiffon, embroidered silk chiffon kimono, and a store-bought tank top. So that is what I have on. I know you guys like to know that stuff. I have a list of questions in front of me, and I have a delicious cocktail to drink. So I think we have everything we need here. By the way, no one asked me what my favorite drink is. It's a dark and stormy. Favorite cocktail anyways. All right, let's just get into it because there's a lot of questions here. And thank you to everyone who asked a question. I have all of them. Hopefully we will get through all of them. If not, I'll break it up into 2 parts. Okay, let's start with Sherry Best. She wants to know, do I think I will sew through all of the fabric I have? I don't know. Maybe. I think at some point in the distant future, I will have sewn everything that is currently sitting in this room. Do I think the size of my fabric stash will ever go down? No. Fabric is too much fun. I like it too much to ever not have a bunch of it around me. So maybe all of this fabric will get sewn, but all of the fabric I ever come in contact with, probably not. Okay. And then she also wanted to know when I first started sewing. I started sewing, I think when I was in high school. That's the earliest I can remember doing it. And I wanted to make purses, I had no pattern. I just had my imagination and the Joann Fabrics remnants. So basically what I was doing was sewing kind of a pillowcase with a flap out of various substrates and embellishing them with whatever trim I can get a hold of. And they were trash, but I was very imaginative about it, I think. And I sold a few of them to my friends. More like I managed to con a few of my friends into buying them. So that was how I started sewing. And yeah, my mom, she has always sewn. I think when I was in high school though, she was mostly doing like quilts, and if someone asked her to sew something, she would do it, like clothing wise. So she used to sew our clothes when we were little kids, but yeah, I basically, and at the time, I think I asked her to show me like how to use the machine basically, and then as soon as she kind of gave me the bare minimum of what I needed to know, I think I probably very rudely dismissed her, which I am sorry about now, but that's probably what I did, and told her to get lost. I got this, and I'll figure it out. And I sort of did. So that is how I started sewing. Okay, Lady J wants to know, am I from Michigan? I am from Michigan. You caught that? Because sometimes my accent gets a little southern-ish because I work amongst many southerners and I've lived in a lot of different places, and he just picked things up, and yeah, but yes, I am from Michigan. So it's crazy that you figured that out. What type of mechanic am I? So I'm not a car mechanic. I am a fighter jet mechanic. More specifically, I am the type of mechanic who works on certain systems on those aircraft that involve the air conditioning, the ejection seat, the canopies, oxygen systems. We do a bunch of stuff mostly related to like air crew safety in flight and cabin air conditioning. So yeah, I am a fighter jet mechanic, not a car mechanic, which would explain why I work overnights. So I think she asked me who is getting their car fixed at midnight. No one, no one. But these pilots, they definitely want their jets fixed by the morning. So that's the type of mechanic that I am. Lady J also wants to know if I will do a TNT pattern video. And I will. That's not a problem. I can do that. She also wanted to know what is my most worn or favorite item. So I'm going to go with my most worn item. And they're kind of my favorites, but my jeans, my ginger jeans, I get the most use out of them. They are the thing that I have made that fits me the best. I don't really have any fit issues with those, except for the pink ones that I just cut a size too small and got too fat for. What are you gonna do? But if I make them in these size I'm supposed to make them, instead of like having wishful thinking in my head because sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. Got it. Okay. So yeah, ginger jeans are my most worn item. I love them. I actually am about to make some more. So let's see. Emily Woot, I think I'm saying that right. She wants to know where I work and my job description. I already kind of gave you the rundown of my job description. And as far as where do I work, I don't want to give any specifics about that, because these dudes would love to troll me, you know what I mean? And I don't know what goes out on the internet. Can't take it back. So I'm not going to say specifically where I work, but basically I'm a contractor and I work in an aircraft hangar. So there's that. All right, Karina P wanted to know, what is my favorite fabric to sew? Well, I like to sew linen. I like to sew denim. I like to sew lawn, shirting. Basically, don't we all like to sew the stuff that doesn't give us any problems at all, right? So all of those things press really nicely. All of those things behave really nicely. Yeah, that's why they're my favorites. So, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I don't think anyone loves sewing like silk charmeuse. No one wants to do that, right? We all want to wear it, but we don't want to sew it. Speaking of that, she also wanted to know what my favorite fabric to wear is. And based on pajamas alone, I like silk charmeuse. That feels great. But it depends on the situation though. That's what I like to wear to bed. If it's summer and hot as hell outside, I like to wear linen or rayon. If it's winter, I like soft, squishy stuff. Yeah. So it depends on the situation. But I would say I do pretty well with linen in the summer and squishy, cozy stuff in the winter. But I don't think that's all that unexpected, right? I'm basic, guys. So, okay. She also wanted to know, do I have a favorite pattern or pattern maker? Well, I'm gonna have to go, okay, I love the big four. They're plentiful and cheap. So I would say as far as volume goes, I own the most of those. As far as indie patterns go, I do like Closet Case patterns. Her fit is good for me. So I've had the most success with that stuff. So I would have to go with that. But yeah, I mean, I'll go with Closet Case. So, and then she also wants to know if I prefer indie or big four. Guys, I could go on a rant about that for about 15 minutes, this whole battle we like to have with these to entities. And if you want to hear me rant about that for a solid 15 minutes, I'll have to make a separate video on it because I have some strong feelings. And so I will say, I think it is a matter of cost, geography. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that. So you know what? I like them both. But if you want to hear the rant, you should let me know down below because I'll have one. I got a rant in my heart about it right now. I'm just saying. Hold on, I need sustenance. Ooh. Karina also wanted to know if I sew year round or if I tend to sew more during certain seasons or, I slow down during seasons or whatever. No, I would, not seasonally. I would say that I have good weeks and I have bad weeks. And sometimes I just get to where I'm sleeping too much and I miss my sewing time. Because I sew before work, not after work. So if I sleep through my sewing time, which it happens, I mean, I'm pretty self-indulgent. I don't have any real responsibility usually. So if I decide to sleep through my free time, then that's what I do. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I get more sewing done in any given season, one over the other. I would say that I will have on and off weeks, basically. So yeah, currently I had a pretty good week last week. So who knows what this week will bring. I guess I tend to just kind of go with whatever I'm feeling at the time. So thank you for those questions, Karina. Now, on to a best Kim. You are the best, Kim. She wants to know if I have a nail art obsession. Well, yes. So I tend to have some free time, and sometimes I fill that free time with doing crazy things on my nails. Sometimes I'm pretty chill about it. Like lately I've been using that free time to study instead of do my nails. So I'm pretty, I've been, pretty low key because nail art takes some time to get doing. So, for right now I've got like a plum color, but I did use flocking powder and make this finger, it's like fuzzy. Like it's got like, it feels like velvet. So yeah, I like to do a little something special, even if I'm doing basic stuff that's going to be, quick, but I still like to give it a little jazz. So yes, I do have a little bit of a nail art obsession, although lately not so much because I am doing other things with the time that I normally reserve for it. She wants to know also, how long have I worked the night shift? It has been years. I have been on midnights for a long time. It's got to be at least 5, maybe 5 years. I think I've been on the night shift. And so that shift is I start at 11 p.m. and I go until 7:30 in the morning. I've been doing it for a long time, about 5 years. She wants to know how I manage my family and friend time while on this shift, as far as like sleep, making sure I get sleep and stuff like that. I would say I do a fair to poor job of it. So, when Tim was here and not in Japan, he's been in Japan since December. So, but when he is here, he worked the night so I worked the midnight shift, he works the night shift. So he would work from 3 in the afternoon until 11 at night. So we wouldn't really see each other too much during the week, but on the weekend, I would try and shift just a few hours. So I would go to bed, like 3 hours earlier than I normally would, and try to make sure I was awake by 3 or 4 in the afternoon. That way we could go do something with our friends if we wanted to. Because, the environment that I work in, is mostly youngish gentlemen. And most of there's not a whole lot to do where I'm at, as far as, fun activities. So basically what there is to do around here is go sit at the bar with your friends or go to a house party or something. So, and yeah, so those things can be accomplished after 3 p.m. basically is what I'm trying to tell you. So Tim and I managed to get friends time in. I don't have any family out here to deal with. I don't have any children. I don't know how people who have children and family can do this stuff, because I think the key to it is knowing you have to set really solid boundaries, right? So I have a time in general that I like to be in bed, and I have a time that I like to be awake at. So I try to, now that Tim has been in Japan, I don't have to accommodate anyone else's needs but my own. So I don't change my schedule on the weekend unless I have some sort of event to attend, right? And those are few and far between, to be honest. So I'm okay. I can stay consistent and it's fine. It's like second nature to me now, where it's almost difficult for me to do it any other way. Like when I was gone for the 2 weeks to Japan and the 2 weeks to Hawaii, being awake during the day took a couple of days to get used to. It was just difficult for me to manage that for a few days. But I mean, you get back into it fairly easily. But yeah, it's kind of just what my body wants to do now, so it's fine. But there are people I work with who have, young children, and they have to work around that and be present and available for their families, and they are the ones at work who are falling asleep everywhere. And I don't know, like, I don't want to say that if you have a family you shouldn't be on this shift, because sometimes it works out. There's a couple of guys who are going to school, and it's a really good shift to be on if you're currently taking classes, because you have the option of any time during the day to do that. If you have a lot of medical appointments that you need to go to and you don't want to take all the time off of work, it's a good shift for that, because you can schedule them any point in the day and just sleep around it. But it is much easier to do, even with just Tim, who was very, very chill about when I slept. Even just altering my schedule on the weekend to accommodate him, to spend time with him, made it difficult on Sunday to get my mind right. Okay? So my answer to how do I manage it, not great, but I did my best, and I think that's all anyone can do with this very unnatural thing that we're being asked to do. And I'm lucky to be on a consistent schedule. I feel terrible for nurses and doctors and people who randomly get put on that shift and then they have to go back to something else, because the only way to do this is to get used to it. That's it. That's how you survive it. Okay, let's move on. That's enough talking. No one cares about that, I don't think, except the best Kim. She cared. Okay, Sarah O had a few questions. A couple of them I already answered, but she also wanted to know what is my favorite thing I ever made. There was a green jacket that I made that I really liked. But the more I think about it, I think my favorite is still the jeans, because I just remember finishing them, and I decided that I was going to make jeans earlier than you would probably want to do that as far as skill level goes. But I was like, I don't care, I'm doing it. And I did it, and they were fine. And they were great. In fact, I've worn them so much that all the top stitching thread is coming out of them. So that's why I'm making some soon. So yeah. So I would say, as far as, that's my favorite. I was very proud of myself that I managed it, and they came out pretty good. I was super proud about that. And I wear them all the time. And I don't care if the top stitching thread's all falling out, I still wear those things. So that's definitely, that's my favorite. Because that's the thing that I think is the most amazing. Okay? That's what I'm most proud of. Alright? One moment. Okay, had to have a cocktail break. I'm getting thirsty. Okay, so Sarah O also wanted to know, how many whips do I have? So, for those of you not in the know, a whip is a work in progress. I have 3 in the closet. Will I ever touch them again? I don't know. Probably. There's actually like a sleeping, like a pajama thing in there that I actually kind of should do because it seems like it'll feel really nice. So I would say out of the 3 in the closet, maybe one of those will get done. And then in my basket, I just cut this stuff out. Ooh, hang on. Here in my basket, I just cut out the Ginger jeans, 2 pairs. View A and View B. View B are the skinnies and View A are more of like a straight leg with the mid-rise, the skinnies with the high-rise. I cut out 1 of each and I have all my crap in here to do that. So that's, what are we up to, 5? And then I also have McCall's 7430. And this green stuff here is a muslin that I made up real quick. And it didn't occur to me until after I started getting the pattern pieces out that I had already made a top. Like, it's supposed to be a dress, but I made a top out of it. And I went back and grabbed it and I put it on. It does not fit well. What was I thinking? Why am I keeping that? It doesn't fit good. Even at the time, okay, so what was I saying? Even at the time when I made it, I knew something wasn't right in this area. So some changes need to be made. I think I'm gonna have to take in a little bit right here. Like there's like a almost like a princess seam here. It is a princess, we'll call it a princess seam. And it's baggy at the armpit. So I need to look into that, but I made the muslin, stuffed it in the bag because I wanted to work on the jeans first, and then also the jeans are gonna end up, I don't even know. Okay, so maybe the jeans aren't a work in progress yet because I have every intention of working on them immediately. So I would call that what's on my sewing table. But it's going to be a work in progress because I have to work on my Halloween costume. So more on that later. Okay, let me get my list. Okay, Sarah O also wanted to know, what is my favorite fabric in my stash? Well, I love all of my fabrics, but I do have a couple of favorites and I need to change my camera battery. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So, favorite fabric in my stash. It's this one right here. It's so weird. I showed this in a haul a long time ago. A long time ago. And I'm just gonna get it out real quick because it is weird. So, and there's a lot of it too, but it's hot pink, it's textured, so we're hitting all of the marks of things that I like. So, it is this. It's like a beige woven with these hot pink poofy threads in a random pattern, and it's the puffy threads make it a little bit thick, but the substrate itself isn't thick. I don't know what to make of this. Honestly, I love it, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what to do with it. So if you guys got any ideas, let me know, because it's such a weird, it's very strange. It is very bright. That pink is neon. I don't know how it came across on camera for you, but in real life it is like a full-blown retinal assault, and I love it, right? That's what I like. But I'm gonna have to be very, very smart with how I use it because it is vibrant. But it's my favorite. I think more so than prints, I like things with texture, like really bold textures. That's what I'm into. So that fabric hits all the marks. It hits the texture mark. It hits the neon mark. I tend to like wovens more than I like knits, although knits are awesome too, but for some reason, like, wovens get my creative juices flowing more than knits do. Knits to me can be a little bit boring as far as what you can create with them. But I still love them, and I still need knit things in my life. I just tend to feel more inspired by wovens. Anyway, so that is one of my favorites. If I had to choose a second one, this rainbow plaid right here. And of course, I should take it out. So, this one. It's like a seersucker plaid, cotton, shirting, but the colors are so happy in this, right? So this one I can make a million. I think I should make a shirt dress out of it. It's just one of those things where I just need to just do it. So I need to just do it. But I think I'm going to save it for summer, of course, because the time for rainbows has passed for the year for me. So it's fall. I got to move on to my fall stuff. Okay. Where was I? Michelle Williams wanted to know, will my mom be showing up in the future? And this sparked a lot of comments. Everybody wants to see Mom. Luckily for us, she saw all the comments and she's very susceptible to peer pressure. So she caved, and the next time we are in the same room together, we will do something. I will get her on the camera. She will like it, whether she wants to or not, and we'll do something for you guys. But when we're going to be in the same room together again, I don't know when that will be. So probably not anytime in the near future. So yeah, she will show up here eventually. And then Michelle also asked, how did I learn to sew? So I kind of answered how I started sewing, but as far as like, how did I go from making crappy pillowcase looking bags in high school to making, you know, kimonos now? I kind of, you know, Mom taught me how to sew stitch, and she taught me, you know, the very, very basic stuff, which is all it's not her fault. It's all I was willing to listen to at the time, was the bare minimum to just get me on my way where I could kick her out of the room. I was a horrible teenager, but she taught me the basics, like right sides, sew it right sides together, you know, that's it. And then everything else I kind of had to just read about, watch videos about. Like I read books, I read blogs. If I needed to know how to do something, I pulled up a tutorial both on video and written in blogs or looked in a book. I have, aside from right sides together and press your seams, I've taught myself how to do this. So if you think that you can't do it, you can. And it doesn't take that long. I mean, to be a true artist and master at it, it takes a minute. But, and I'm not there at all, not even close. Like, I screw up more things than I do right. But that's okay, because I'm still learning, and that's fine. I'm good with that. But if you think that you're just a beginner, that's okay. Be a beginner, but also be bold and do things, and do things you don't think you can do, and maybe you will be surprised at the end. Even if you screw it up, you might learn something for next time. You might learn something that you like doing. You might learn something that you hate doing. And every time you do something, you will get better at it. That's just how it works. So even if you think that you can't do it, I promise you, you can, because I could do it. And I didn't have anyone to teach me. Aside from my mom, who taught me very little, but that's not her fault. Let me just say that again. I know that she's watching this. Mom, it wasn't your fault. I wasn't in the mood to listen to anyone at that point in my life. I think you know that. I would listen to you now because I'm less dumb than I was then. So, that out of the way. Basically, I taught myself everything else. You can do it too. It's not hard. I mean, some of it's hard, but you can still do it. And you can still screw it up, and it's okay if you screw things up. There's nothing wrong with messing stuff up. It's just fabric. You can always go get some more. So, yeah, just do stuff. Do stuff all of the time. Screw stuff up, do it again. Screw something up, never do that thing again, do something else. So I taught myself. I believe that you can teach yourself, and I think it'll all be fine. Sorry, I got a little rambly there. That's probably from the cocktail. That's a good one too. I've been sucking it down. Yeah. Okay, so that was all the questions that I got. I answered all of them. A couple of people had like repeat questions, so those I just didn't go over again. But I want to thank everyone who asked me a question. I appreciate that. You guys are the ones who made this video happen. If no one was asking me questions, I wouldn't have anything to talk about. And it's a nice break because I don't have anything new to show you. So, yeah. Right. So, what's coming up next? Halloween costume as soon as I get my fabric in, and I need a pattern sale to hit because I think I found a pants pattern that'll work, but I need something for the jacket. So I am going to be Uma Thurman from Kill Bill in the yellow tracksuit with the samurai sword. That's going to be me for Halloween this year. I'm going to a party, so I have to do it right. Yeah. So I need to make the Halloween costume. So I'm going to work on the jeans until the fabric and I get the pattern. And then as soon as I get those things in, I'm going to have to switch over because I have to have this done by October 20th. So, yeah. So 2 pairs of jeans, a Halloween costume. That is my immediate future. Yeah, that's all I got. Okay. If you guys have any more questions, just throw them down below and I will save them and we can do this again sometime. Okay? I just have a little Word document and I just copy and paste them and put them in there. That way I keep like a running list of any questions that need further addressing for later. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to finish my cocktail and go to bed. So, all right. Yeah, that's it. Bye.